guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and for today's video, I'm going to be doing another cage tour of my rat's quadruple critter nation. Or more accurately, it's two double critter nations that are not connected because I have two groups currently, because the two oldest girls in this bottom group do not get along with the rats in this upper group, unfortunately. But anyways, I had to do a really big remodel this time around. With everything in the cage, and that's because unfortunately the three oldest girls in my bottom two units, well, they all have different levels of hind leg degeneration, and unfortunately things like ropes and nets are just too big of a fall risk for them, and even having something like their dig box in the cage was becoming a big problem because they really couldn't hop over the side and they would fall. So unfortunately I just didn't feel like it was safe to keep the dig box or the usual setup. So that's why I changed a lot of stuff this time around, but I'm still pretty happy with the setup, and I feel like I did a good job balancing the old girls' safety with a lot of fun activities for both them and their younger cage mates. And I also changed up the other group's cage, mainly because I put the dig box in it, so that kind of made me need to change everything around. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at the cages. First, we're going to start with my group of four, which has this upper double. So let's go ahead and get started with the upper unit. Okay, so here's an overview of the upper unit. As you can see, it has a lot of fun stuff. Now this unit is probably the one that stayed the most similar to my last cage tour, and that's because I left the shelf in the middle, I left the big 14.5-inch wheel, and I also left the climbing wall I have on the side. But everything else I did move around because I wanted to give the girls a little bit more variety. Oh, I see a Nucky Bean. This is Miss Tofu. Hi Tofu, you're so cute. Hello, she's ready for some free range. Okay. So, going to the inside, first up we have the climbing wall, like I mentioned. Tofu, don't even think about it. Do not even think about it. And this climbing wall consists of a bunch of lava ledges, plus a few of these chinchilla ledges, a little hamster toy that I drilled some holes into and mounted onto the cage wall, and then also this little thing that I also mounted onto the cage wall. And then I also have some water bottles. You can see a Choco No Drip water bottle, which is this one in the back. And then this little 4-ounce Oasis water bottle. And then moving to the other side, we have a space pod, which I have attached on its side to the cage bars. And then I have this little shelf right here. That one comes from Temu. Then I have this little snack treat thing, which comes from Ratty Box. And then this little side hammock, which attaches to the cage using these little pegs. And this one comes from Temu. And then moving to the interior, we have a few more ledges. Plus a space pod up there, actually two of them, a pink and purple one and a purple one. And then we have a few chews, followed by this little bathroom shelf organizer thing, which I have binder clips and felt to in order to make sure that if the rats jump down from this little shelf up here, that they don't land just on the floor and that they actually have a way to get down pretty easily. So that's why that's there. And then that has a bowl full of some oxbow, plus a little rat food mix I have. And then it also has the popcorn chew toy from Ratty Box, which is super cute. And then we have the 14.5-inch silver surfer wheel, which is Raisin's favorite wheel. And I think this is a really nice wheel. And then, oh, hello, Miss Popcorn. Oh my gosh, you like the new cage? Oh my God, Popcorn's chewing on popcorn. Anyways, then we have this little thing here. This is just a pretzel box, which I have put on its side and put some tissues and kind of paper towel into. Oh my gosh, I think I see Tater Tot. Hi, Tater Tot. Oh, it's a Necky, a Tater Tot, and a popcorn. And no Tofu. Anyways, moving down, we have this little reptile food dish with some food in it. Again, oxbow in my mix. And then we have this little pill-shaped hide. This is a Rodney Space Igloo, and it has some paper towel in it. And then in the middle, we have this little hammock. This is just made out of some old pants, which had gotten torn up. So I just cut it into a rat hammock and hung it up with some C-clips. And under that, we have a wooden hide, and the entrance to the wooden hide is on this side where the connection to the second unit is. Oh my gosh, look at Tater Tot eating. She's so cute. She's eating a sunflower seed. Tater Tot, you really don't eat those. Oh, but you're so cute when you eat them. You're so cute. Ah. Oh, there's a popcorn. Okay, so then on this side, we have another of the chinchilla ledges, a few chew toys from Ratty Box like this one. A little paper tube that I've cut, and then I've also cut a little slit down so the rats can't get stuck in it. I always do that because as smart as rats are, I've seen them do some pretty dumb stuff. So I'd rather just baby-proof everything just to try and prevent any accidents from them being too curious. Moving up, we have this little metal food holder. This is from Ratty Box, and it has, again, more of my Oxbow and food mix. Oh, I hear someone drinking water. Is that you, Raisin? That's a Raisin drinking water. She's so cute. Then here we have this little star thing. This is a pumice star from Ratty Box. Moving up, we have my little shelf, which is being held up with some C-clips. And that is a locker shelf, and it fits the Critter Nation stainless steel side pan from Bass Equipment perfectly. So that's what's on there. And then I forgot to mention that the bedding I use in these things is Marshall's Ferret Litter, the pelleted kind, and it works really well. It's like yesterday's news, well, before it was discontinued. And then we have this little oatmeal container, which I cut in half. So this acts as a little tunnel for them to chew up. And then in the back, we have a really nice hammock, which is a corner hammock. And then we have this nice little double-decker hammock, plus a food bowl in the back with more Oxbow / mix. And then this little cardboard hide with a cutout on this side and the other. And then I have one of these little bendy bridges inside of a container, which the rats can chew up because that's cardboard. And then I already talked about the space pod up above, so I think that's actually it for this unit. A lot of stuff to cover, but I think that is pretty much it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move down to the next unit, and maybe we'll see Miss Tofu down there. Yep, definitely, because she just went down. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, yep, there she is. Okay, so moving on to the second unit that the girls have. First up, we have on this side, right under the connection hole, I have another side hammock, and that's just to help the rats because they can just drop down onto it. Let's see, you can see right here, they just drop onto it, and that's how they get between levels. And then in the center, I have this nice little double-decker hammock from Ratty Box, which they really like. And then the shelf here is on its highest setting, and you can see I have, again, a bass pan on it. And I have 2 PVC pipes taped together just to make a fun little tubing system for the girls. And then in the back, I have another cardboard box with some holes cut out in it. Raisin, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're so sweet. She's such a sweet little Raisin. And then moving to the other side, we have this little double-decker shelf with some fabric binder clipped on. You can find these at like Lowe's or Home Depot. They're in the kitchen / closet supply section because they're meant to hang on the wall. But as you can see, I've attached it with some C-clips. And then I have a food bowl on there with more Oxbow / mix. Then I have another lava ledge, and then down below it, I have another tube, and then yet another food bowl with more Oxbow and more mix. And then I have this little stone here for some texture, and maybe for the rats to get their nails nice and short on, or actually sharp on, because that's what they like to do. You guys like to sharpen your nails, don't you? No, Miss Raisin. Then we have 2 more space pods, one on the ground, one being hung up. Then we have another Choco No Drip water bottle, then one of these little mounted bird waters. This one attaches to the cage bars and it has a little hood, so the water takes longer to get dirty. Hello, my little bean. And then we have a 4-ounce Oasis water bottle right next to it. And then we have the 16-inch wheel, which is really nice. The rats really like this one, especially Popcorn and Tofu. So this is just a second wheel because I've noticed some of my girls prefer it to the 14.5-inch, although that is Raisin's favorite. Raisin, what are you doing? What are you doing, Raisin? But anyways, that's why that's in there. And then moving to the middle, the star attraction, of course, is the 20-gallon dig box. This is my younger girls' first time having a dig box, and they are absolutely loving it. It's just filled with some crinkled paper, and it has some paper towel at the bottom to help absorb any moisture. You can see Popcorn digging at the bottom. Anyways, in here I put another part of the oatmeal container, which I cut in half, plus a tissue box, which I cut holes on both sides, so it's kind of like a tunnel. And then another of these little tubes with a slit cut in the middle so the rats can chew that up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the second unit. I think that this cage setup is pretty fun for the rats, so I'm very excited to see the girls continue to enjoy it, especially Miss Tofu, who is really enjoying that treat. Hello, Tofu, you're so sweet. And Miss Popcorn, who's really enjoying the dig box. And Miss Raisin and Miss Tater Tot. Everyone's so cute. But yeah, I think they all really enjoy the setup. So I'm very glad that they seem to be enjoying everything new in the cage. Anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and move to the lower 2 units with my older girls. Well, I should say my older and younger girls because it has a group of 6 in it. So they're not all super old, just 3 of them. Oh my gosh, Popcorn, you're drinking. What do you think? Is that yummy? Yeah. Oh, there's a second one drinking. That's a little Tater Tot drinking with a little paw. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Ah, love it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move down. So first up, we have this unit. Okay, so moving down, this is the first side of the cage. As you can see, it is fully open, so the rats can get from one side to the other without any issues. Since everyone is actually asleep right now, I think I'm just going to open it all up. Everyone is pretty sleepy right now because I actually did the older girls' cage first. So first up, you can see that I have changed a lot in this cage this time around. I no longer have the double shelves, and I no longer have the dig tank, and I now have shelves on both sides, plus ladders leading up to the shelves. And that's because, like I said, 3 of my girls in this cage have limited mobility in their hind legs, so I have to make it as easy as possible for them to get around. Now I do want to call attention to the bedding real quick. This looks like it's just paper bedding, but it's actually on top of the Marshall's litter. And that's because the Marshall's litter itself is very absorbent, but this bedding itself is what the rats like to nest and kind of burrow in. And since they can't have the dig box, I felt like I wanted to give them something to compensate. Oh, there's Donut using the ladder. Oh, it's still hard for her, but a lot easier this way than it is otherwise. Oh, my sweet bean. No, Miss Donut. Miss Donut. Always being the sweetest, most explorative little bean. She can't help herself. She's old as dirt, but she can't help herself. She just wants to do everything. Donut, you're old, you have tumors, and what do? You explore. Well, let me tell you, when Donut's exploring, I know I don't need to worry for her. As soon as she stops exploring, I'll know that she's definitely not having a good life. But right now, she's still very energetic and all over the place, which is why I think that she still has a really good quality of life, despite unfortunately having some health issues. Yeah, that's right. Here's my little miracle bean. She's such a sweet girl. Anyways, moving back to the cage itself, this cage houses my 6 girls, including my 3 oldest girls. And I went for a kind of minimalist approach, which I know it doesn't look super minimalist, but it is compared to my usual setup. And that's because I wanted them to have an easier time getting around. So you'll notice that I left as much floor space available as possible while still giving them some hides and things to do. So in the bottom part, I have this little koala hide from Ratty Box, which is super soft, and the rats really like to sleep in that. Then I have this little bowl with some oxbow and their mixed food. Then in the back, I have a box with 2 entrances, so they can get in and out very easily. Then I have a space pod, which someone has decided to put a bunch of bedding into, but hopefully that means they like it. I think it does. Then I have 2 tissue boxes with little holes cut out in them, and they kind of act as a stepping stool onto the little back shelf, which has some felt binder clipped onto it. And the back double shelf does technically lead up to the side shelf. However, the old girls mainly use the ladder because that's a lot easier for them to climb. And you'll notice that I taped some cardboard to the back of it. The reason I did that is because I found that the old girls could actually fall through the rungs when they were climbing if they misstepped. Whereas having the cardboard prevents that from happening. So they still have the rungs to kind of help them get up and down, but the cardboard prevents them from falling through, which is really important. Moving up to the shelf, we have a space pod with some paper towel in it. Then we have another box with 2 entrances, plus a tube on top. Then over here, we have 2 cardboard egg curtains, and that's mainly there because Blueberry likes to chew cardboard, so I wanted to have something in there for her to chew on. Donut? You're old, excuse me. See, this is what I tell you. I'm like, Donut's an old rat. She has these issues. And what does she do? She tries to climb up to the top. Like, Donut, this is why you can't have ropes in your cage, because you keep doing the stupid stuff. Don't do it. She's like, no, I can do it. I'm old. I can do it. I know you can do it, Donut, but it's not safe. Anyways, moving back to the cage itself, I have a double-decker hammock hanging right in front of the double-decker shelf. And then right next to it, I have this little log thing, and that's mainly there to fill in the gap in case anyone goes up there, which again is mainly my younger rats, although I have seen my older rats, like Olive in particular, who you can see on the pink thing, using it a little bit. So that's just kind of a solid thing to prevent them from falling through the cracks, because I feel like that's necessary at this point. Then over here, we have my 15-inch by 6-inch wheel. This is the Chen Sprint from Exotic Nutrition. And my rats really like this wheel, especially my younger girls. Okay, so that's it for that unit. Let's move on to the other side. So first up, we have Olive, demonstrating again the ladder. As you can see, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it used to be. Maybe I'll try putting like sides on it or something. I don't know for sure. Anyways, on this side, we have the pink disc, which is at the top, and that is what Blueberry is currently on. It has a pillowcase on top of it, plus a little space pod with some paper towel in it, and a little Blueberry inside that. Oops, I think I forgot to point out that Miss Olive is now out. course, it's always my two oldest girls who are immediately exploring. These two do not realize they are old. It's a good thing, but my gosh, they do not understand their limits. But anyways, next to Blueberry, we have a little L-shaped tunnel, which I did my best to hang in an open position. It did not work super well, but this comes from Ratty Box, and it has a cute little space theme, and it's super soft inside. My rats have been sleeping on top of it, and I did see Butter sleeping inside it, so, you know, it kind of works, and they seem to be using it, so that's a good thing. Then we have a purple pill-shaped Rodney Space Igloo with some paper towel inside it, plus a bowl with more oxbow mix, and a chew toy above it. Then we have a treat kebab from Ratty Box, plus another bird water dish, and then another of these Oasis water bottles. Oh my gosh, Tater Tot is so thirsty. Man, she's drinking so much. What the heck, Tater Tot? Okay, so moving to the door, we have this little side hammock, which is also from Temu. And then down below that, we have a Choco No Drip water bottle, which is 12 ounces. And on the other side, hello Miss Olive, we have this little shelf. This is from a Overstock store. I think it was meant to be like a shower shelf or something like that. And I've just binder clipped on some fabric. Then I have another chew toy, another bowl with some oxbow and mix in it, and then a chinchilla ledge, which helps to kind of bridge the gap, which is there when the cage door is closed. So that kind of just helps to get rid of that. You can kind of see when I do this. Anyways, moving down, we have this Glade box with some crinkle paper in it. And my rats have really enjoyed sleeping in there because even though they can't have their dig box, this kind of makes up for it. So they've been enjoying digging in there and sleeping in there. And then I have this nice little soft hammock, which the rats have been sleeping on as well, plus a little igloo, which the rats like to sleep in. And then we have this little space pod full of some crinkle paper. And then, of course, we have the ladder up to the shelf. And then in the back, we have another double-decker shelf with more fabric on it, binder clipped on, plus two Oasis water bottles. One is a 4 ounce and one is an 8 ounce. And that, I think, is pretty much it. Like I said, these two units are not super decorated right now. I was mainly focusing on safety and allowing the old rats to get around easier. And I also tried to add a little bit of fun stuff for the younger rats in particular. So I think I did a pretty good job, like I said, of balancing everything. Oh, hi Butter! There's little Butter! But, oh, she did a sweet little yawn. But yeah, I really wanted to make sure that everyone was pretty safe. So this was just the best I could come up with. So, you know, this is just what they have to deal with for now. Because I really want my old girls to be safe. And I feel like this is the best sort of setup that allows them to be pretty safe. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this cage tour. I'm going to go ahead and show you an overview. I can't believe that Blueberry is still sleeping. What the heck, Blueberry? She's just like, I'm napping and you can't get me up. Okay, so here's an overview of the cages. I think they came out pretty well, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing them. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, so I will see you guys next time. Bye!